What's up, guys? Blazingwing here, and today I'm going to tell you exactly why you should wait until patch 9.2 to gear any of your alts. In World of Warcraft, there are a lot of people who play one or maybe two characters, but if you're like me, and I know a lot of you are, then you've got way too many alts or alternate characters taking up space on your account. The reasons why one might have many alts are various. One of my old WoW running buddies, shout out to JKeg on Maelstrom, had a cadre of characters covering every last profession in the game. Some people, like me, just enjoy leveling through the older zones, challenging themselves to find a faster way to get to the level cap, or maybe just going back and doing old quests or achievements, or exploring old content you haven't seen in many years. With that said, I don't think it's a stretch to claim that Shadowlands, the current World of Warcraft expansion, is maybe one of the least alt-friendly expansions Blizzard has ever made. World quests in Shadowlands take longer, with far more steps to most of them than anything we dealt with in Legion or BFA. Reputation is more tied to rewards than ever before, with things like Anima and Renown tied directly to whatever covenant you chose and not transferring over to any of your alts, and so on. In 9.1, Blizzard added the Zone Korthia as an expansion of sorts to the Maw, and while it's a bit nicer to look at, it's still a frustrating mess of rare hunting and spawn camping that requires a group to really get anything of value accomplished on any sort of normal timetable. Now, normally, when the first major patch comes out, Blizz adds in a kind of catch-up system for your alts, a way to get easier gear and get your alt caught up quickly to where your main character is in terms of sheer power and accessibility. BFA added benthic gear to Nazjatar, allowing an easy way to obtain quick gear and get your alts up to snuff. Legion likewise had gear from the Broken Shore that you could transfer to your alt and get them ready to take on Kil'jaeden in the Tomb of Sargeras. In 9.1, that gear does exist in Korthia, but unless you've been living in the Maw since the expansion launched, it is absolutely not worth your time trying to gear up even one alt, much less an entire group of them. The Korthian armaments that are bind on account are item level 200 and cost 750 Stygia for belt, boots, bracers, cloak, and accessory, either a ring or a trinket chosen at random, to 1,000 Stygia for gloves and shoulders, 1,250 Stygia for chest, helm, and legs, and finally 1,500 Stygia for a weapon. Or, if you feel lucky, you can drop 750 Stygia for a token that randomizes which of these items you get. An okay option if everything here is an upgrade, but not worth the risk if you're only targeting a few specific slots. Now, on paper, you might think, hey, this doesn't sound so bad. And yeah, the numbers don't seem awful, but if you've spent any amount of time in the Maw and Korthia, you know just how little Stygia you actually get from completing any given task. Add to the fact that if you die, and odds are if you're not in a group, you will die at some point in the Maw, you lose Stygia that you can only recover if you make it back to your body. And in the Maw, there is no corpse running, which means you're still in danger the entire time you're trying to make it back to the spot you died in the first place. If you've lived in the Maw since the expansion launched, then I'd be willing to bet that you have a lot of Stygia saved up. You have the Maw memorized, you know exactly where to go to get the most bang for your buck, and you know what places to avoid in order to not lose any of that precious Stygia. If you're like me, however, and I have reason to believe a lot of you are, then you don't really bother with the Maw. It's a slog every time I need to go there. It's not fun to travel around. It's not fun trying to do quests. It's so boring to look at. I just don't enjoy it, so I don't do it. And yeah, as a result, I don't have crap when it comes to Stygia, which means none of my alts are getting geared in Korthia, which means for players like me, it's not worth trying to even level alts at this point due to the sheer amount of time it would cost simply to get them ready to do something like the Sanctum of Domination or even the highest levels of Torghast. However, that is all about to change in 9.2 thanks to Zereth Mortis. As soon as you log in on patch day, February 22nd, you'll be given the breadcrumb quest to head to Oribos and enter Zereth Mortis. Specifically, we're looking to get to Haven, the hub city in Zereth Mortis, because in Haven, there is a BOA gear vendor named Haja who sells every single piece of gear at item level 226 for only 500 anima each. Now, I might not have much in the way of Stygia, but I definitely have plenty of anima, because in patch 9.1, they made anima far easier to obtain. In fact, even if you only log in once a week and do the 2 Shadowlands world bosses, one in the Maw and one in the 4 main Shadowlands zones, you are guaranteed a minimum of 1,000 anima, which is 2 gear slots right off the bat. That's a comparison of likely doing an hour grinding mobs in the Maw to maybe get one piece of gear at eye level 200 to doing 2 world bosses, which, including travel time, is at most going to take you 15 to 20 minutes to get 2 eye level 226 gear pieces. And if you want to do more, you can often get at least another 500 anima per character just doing the random world quests around the Shadowlands. Not to mention the fact that you can start stockpiling now, which means if you can save up, or have already saved up, 6,500 anima before February 22nd, you can unlock a full set of eye level 226 gear on patch day for whatever alt you want to swap over to. Compared to the Korthian gear, I think that's a pretty sweet deal. The best part is, it doesn't even take that long to unlock Haja. On the PTR, I transferred over one of my lower geared 60s, my Ret Paladin, and started her off on the road to Haven. From the time I arrived in Oribos to the time I was able to interact with Haja, it took me just under 20 minutes to complete. It's very easy, and my Paladin was eye level 176, so being under-geared, even solo, it shouldn't be too much for anyone to get through. Definitely much more forgiving than the Maw and Korthia intro quests were time-wise, and even battle-wise earlier in the expansion. Okay guys, that's going to do it for this video. Thanks for watching, drop a like if this helped you out, subscribe for more World of Warcraft and other great gaming content coming soon, and as always, I'll catch you all on the flip side. Game on!